I'm not even mad about it. It's pretty much what we expected, so you can't really be mad about something you expected already. And who knows? It might be game of the year. It might be game of the year. This game might come out and it might just blow your balls off with just how amazing the writing's going to be. So, CD Projekt Red claims The Witcher 4 will tackle a woman's struggle in the medieval world because we love talking about that kind of crap in video games, about how hard it is to be a woman. We love it. We just love it. And I'm sure this is going to be just perfection when it comes to writing. Not ham-fisted or in your face. I'm sure they're going to have a nice, subtle story about the struggles of females in the medieval world. And I'm sure game of the year right here. The Witcher 4 directors claim that using Ciri as their main protagonist will allow the team to explore the specific struggles of a female monster hunter in a medieval world. But is medieval sexism something anyone was asking for in a fantasy RPG game heading into 2025? No, but it's the game we deserve. Like, if you're not into modern gaming like this, what the fuck are you doing? This is the future of gaming, guys. Get over it. Because we don't care about good games here. No, instead, we want to jump from our real lives into a game and continue our real lives in that game. So all the crap we have to deal with and have to hear in the outside world, we want to hear about it in games too, because that is what we want. We are desiring to be preached to constantly. Ever since CD Projekt Red announced that Ciri would star in The Witcher 4, there have been questions and concerns raised. Some corners of the web erupted with outrage at yet another female protagonist replacing a beloved male hero. You freaking misogynistic pigs. We need some girl power, because nothing nowadays has any girl power in it. Others are asking thoughtful questions about lore and whether Ciri's abilities and background even fit the concept of being a Witcher at all. Now, I don't watch The Witcher. I haven't watched it. I haven't played it. But from what I understand, it's the mutation to become and women aren't able to handle it. But no, when you have enough girl power and enough to compete with the men, you can do anything. And girls, ladies, don't let anyone hold you back. You are strong and powerful. Don't let a man. I'm actually not joking with this part. I'm not actually being sarcastic with this part. No, I know the left side likes to tell you people that because of the color of your skin or your gender that you can't do anything because the evil white patriarchy is gonna hold you down. Fuck them. Seriously. Some of the richest people in the world are women. If you're a female, if you're black, guess what? We had a black president for 8 years. So don't let the left try to convince you that you're incapable of doing something just because of what's between your legs or the color of your skin. Because they want you subservient to them. They want you reliant on them. So if you're a woman, yeah, you can do most things you set your mind to. Obviously, there are physical differences between men and biological differences. But do not let people tell you you can't do something because of the color of your skin or your gender. That's something they do to keep you thinking the way they want you to. So just don't. Unfortunately, a lot of people have bought into it. So, and it's also funny, the people who are telling you these things, oh my God, the peak patriarchy, and they're usually either black or women. So clearly they're not part of the whole, being held down. So it's like, if they weren't held down, why would you be? So just take a second. I'm not one of those people who believe that women can't achieve anything. No, you can. You can achieve everything you want with reason, within reason. Uh, but yeah, they're the side of, oh well, everything that happens in the world is because of evil white men. If you're a woman, it's misogyny. If you're black, it's racism, and it's all perpetuated by evil white people. Just don't give into it. Don't believe the crap. So, but yeah, now some people are thinking that they're not just going to make it a woman, that secretly she's going to be trans, that it's a trans female, that they're going to retcon her gender and make her a trans female so that way she can uh go through the whole Witcher process and survive it, because she's not actually a biological female. But that'd be really stretching, and I'm sure they're not going to happen. That's not going to happen. But it's I've also said that sometimes you have titles uh, that are given to you even when you haven't gone through the criteria of, you know, it's like, I brought up Sora with, being a Keyblade Master. I mean, it's quite clear that he was a Keyblade Master, but it's like, oh, well, you didn't pass the test, so we can't officially call you a Keyblade Master. So, but I would love to see a story of a woman going from rags to riches, a story of a woman who has been told by all the evil men in their lives that, oh, you'll never amount to it, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, and then she goes through the game and proves them all wrong and shoves it in their snarky, smug, toxic masculine faces. Anyway, well, what's catching more attention is how developers at CD Projekt Red have seemingly confirmed they plan to use Ciri's storyline to explore sexism and gender politics in the medieval-inspired world of The Witcher. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be perfection. Speaking of Eurogamer, game director Sebastian Kalemba and narrative director Philip Weber laid out how, from the start, they saw Ciri as more than just a mere side character. They pointed out that while Geralt was always set in his ways, Ciri, at the outset of The Witcher 4, is at the beginning of her own journey as a Witcher. In a way, even though Ciri is, of course, a defined character with her, players will have the opportunity to still define her quite a bit more. Specifically, define the path that she will take on her way to become a Witcher, and becoming a Witcher, and basically also what kind of person that will make her. The conversation with Eurogamer then turned specifically to questions that centered around the idea of sexism in the world of The Witcher. The experience of a woman is actively quite a significant actively quite a significant theme in The Witcher in a lot of different forms. The women of this world are subjected to a lot of violence. They're heavily sexualized in different ways. So when men do it, it's sexualized. When women do it to themselves, it's empowerment. At least that's how it is in the real world. There's a kind of deal with the devil that sorceresses have had to make where they lose their fertility and so on. Watching the trailer seemed to maybe channel this. There's Ciri, a woman trying and failing to save another woman from more of this universe's violence, right? Is that an intentional theme that you were channeling with the trailer? And also, is that something you're intentionally looking to explore in the game? The experience of a woman about the experience of a woman in particular through Ciri's eyes in this world? Weber's reply. I mean, I would say that the world of The Witcher is a really dark one that really inspired by, of course, dark fantasy lore or folklore, but also medieval to early Renaissance history. And that is a world that was really tough. Tough for many different people, women among them. And as an example, in The Witcher, we also deal a lot with racism when it comes to non-humans. And this is something that we need to keep up with The Witcher for, because people love that stuff. They just love it. I can't wait. You know, I think I'll play it just so I can experience it. You know, I love it. Modern gaming. There's nothing like it, and there's never going to be an era of human existence where gaming is going to be nearly as good as it is now. This is the peak of of what you can expect from gaming, not just now but going forward as well. Um, it's only wanted to keep up with the Witcher 4. I think it's something that has always been really important. We make games for adults. It also means that we get to tackle some difficult topics. We tackle them in interesting ways. We tackle them without giving easy answers, but often opening difficult questions to the players that players have to answer. I think that some of those questions might be going in this direction as well, because yeah, Ciri is a woman, and as a Witcher in this world, this is an unusual state. Well, it's only unusual because you people are making it unusual by taking something that shouldn't be even possible and retconning it just so you can have her as your main protagonist. So, if this was still just going with the lore, then it wouldn't be an issue now, would it? Hi, Adam. Hi, Adam. Hi, Kevin. Adam. Oh. What is it, bub? He's like, Grandpa. Um, so I don't think it's going to be this story everywhere, but since this is part of this world, and we want to tackle so many of those themes, it's definitely also going to appear there as well. Does this mean that instead of simply showing how Ciri grows into her monster slaying role, CD Projekt Red feels it's important to weave in a storyline about gender politics? Do most gamers really? No, no, they don't. No, they don't. Recent AAA launches suggest that modern deisms and overtly feminist angles might be wearing thin on. Yeah, you think? Star Wars Outlaws, Dragon Age, Failguard, Concord, Dustbin have all been criticized. It's also Unknown Nine, Awakening, Forspoken. So people are just even stuff like Life is Strange. I mean, apparently the double exposure one that came out not too long ago, people don't really like it. Um, I, I, I don't. If I played it, I'm sure I wouldn't. I mean, I already had my own thoughts about it because the whole concept was freaking stupid. The whole concept of it was stupid. John, what are you talking about? Because they chose Max, who had already gone through the first game and learned that when you mess with space and time, bad things happen. And then they take her, several years older now, they give her the power to tear through dimensions. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing this. So clearly she didn't learn her freaking lesson the first time when she was just rewinding time. Now she has the power to tear through space and time itself into alternate dimensions or universes. And the first thing she does is like, so it's just bad writing. If you're gonna give someone that kind of power, give it the power to someone who hasn't had the ability to manipulate things already. Anyway, criticized for focusing too heavily on message-driven storytelling rather than compelling immersive gameplay. Also, with Star Wars Outlaws, what was it? The Fathier, that is like, oh yeah, people don't even have their own Fathier yet. And you better get in game, and you better do all these side quests that allow you to get one, because that's not a strategic marketing tool or anything. Hey guys, most gamers haven't gotten their own father yet. Oh, we'll just go through this lengthy game, and go through all the side quests, and you too. Your numbers are bad. Just stop. No, telling gamers that they don't have something in game yet isn't gonna make them want to play it. Can I help you, Sam? Come here. Come on. Okay, whatever. Each of these games failed commercially, which is a trend that can't be ignored. CDPR's approach may create headlines initially, but numbers could indicate that it often alienates core players seeking to lose themselves in a rich fantasy or sci-fi realm where they can take a break from debating societal issues. Yeah. Contrast with the buzz around Black Myth, Wukong, Stellar Blade, Space Marines 2, or Marvel Rivals, games that simply promise fun escapism without underlining any modern political talking points. Those titles have benefited from a fan base relieved to get back to the essence of why most people play games in the first place, an engaging world with an entertaining story. Yeah. Yeah. Like, people are tired of being preached to. It's in everything now, whether it be video games, comics, TV shows, movies, whatever you're doing, whatever you're watching, you are being preached to. Being told that if you're black or you're a woman, you're gonna have it always gonna have it hard. If you're white, you're the source of all evil. It's just ridiculous. It's in everything. People are tired of it. If you think these games are great, great, awesome, so glad. But to sit here and try to think that they're successful or whatever just because you like them, and to try to cover up the fact of the clear messaging going on. Like, if you enjoy it, great. And if you want to pretend like there's, no message going on, that's up to you. But people generally are tired of this. The Witcher series has always prided itself on gritty realism and moral ambiguity. The original game famously... Knock it off! Original game famously let you collect risque romance cards. The newer entries, especially The Witcher 3, tackle topics like racism towards non-humans and the harsh realities of medieval society. One could argue that sexism is simply another piece in the puzzle of that. If handled with a deft hand, it might enrich the narrative. It's modern gaming. You really think that's going to happen? You really think that's going to happen? But it's also easy to suspect that The Witcher 4's big talking point is less about telling a natural extension of series tale, and more about ticking a modern box. Instead of letting the sexist elements of the world stand as background flavor, they risk turning it into a main course for the sake of being relevant. Does anyone know series canonical sexual preference? Because they put a chick in it, all they gotta do is make her lame and gay. And it'll come full circle. Ideally, The Witcher will follow through on this in the way that it feels consistent with a dangerous, monster-ridden environment, rather than a lecture about how to be tough it is to be a woman. Yeah, that'd be great, but it's like, why not both? Ciri is potentially an interesting protagonist as a defined character who can still be shaped by player choices, but it still seems like a misstep to turn a dark medieval fantasy epic into yet another female empowerment storyline at a time when many gamers are clamoring for an escape from real life culture wars. Yeah. I mean, yeah, wait, we need to talk about the fucking patriarchy and the lack of tampons in the hole in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. I still believe The Witcher 4 will be good. So, if it was being done with nuance and, subtlety, it could probably work. But that's not how modern companies work. It needs to be in your face because they think you're stupid. So, in order for you to get the message, it needs to be shoved down your throat at all moments because they think you're stupid and won't pick up on the subtle hints and clues and all of that being dropped. So, when they do that, it sacrifices story for the sake of a message. And just look back at any game in just the past year that's failed due to political messaging. They think you're stupid. They think the gamers are stupid. That we can solve complex puzzles in a game, but we can't pick up that, oh, wow, they're talking about racism. No, instead it's got to be shoved down your throat. So, it's whatever. Modern gaming, guys. Again, get over it. Get used to it. It's here. It's queer. Get used to it. But, yeah, this is where modern gaming is going. So, either catch up with the rest of us or you're going to be left in the dust. Anyway, that's going to do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.